What's going on, everyone? Talen here, and welcome to another Marvel Future Fight video. Alright, so it's time to jump into another uniform review, and we're going to be looking at Iron Man right now. So here we have Iron Man's Infinity War uniform, and it looks really nice. It's a nice sleek design there for Tony Stark, but the uniform bonus over here, I'm sorry that I'm a little confused on it, so hopefully you guys will be able to correct me in the comments below if I'm wrong about this, but the wording on it seems quite weird, because at the bottom here you see you have a 3-second cooldown, and I'm not really sure what that's actually pertaining to. So the apply to self, create the 50% of max HP shield that refreshes every 3 seconds for that refreshes 3% every 1 second. That is passive. That shield is always going to be there, so that should not be on a cooldown at all, because there's no cooldown indication below it. And then we have the next set of text here, which is apply to self. So after this apply to self, since there's a cooldown below it, it should be applying to this chunk of text here. So whenever hit, you get super armor, all defense 5% for 1 second, and then it enhances the effect of the skill precision aim, and it's on a 3-second cooldown, is just how I'm kind of understanding the wording of this. But if we go into the skill preview here, as I will show you in a minute, the super armor and the all defense does not appear to be on a 3-second cooldown. It just activates every single time you get hit. So I'm not sure if that's a bug right now or what is supposed to actually be on that 3-second cooldown, because the precision aim is his 4-star passive, and that should not be on a 3-second cooldown, and usually you can check that from the stat page. So if we go ahead and back out here real fast so I can show you, and we go to the team here, and then we go to Iron Man, and we go check on his stat page here, you can see his 4-star passive precision aim, 5% increase to energy attack. We equip his uniform, and then we get that enhancement, so it is now 15% to energy attack. So it's going to enhance his 4-star passive right there. He gets 10% bonus to energy attack. And since that's reflected here, it should not be an activated skill. It should be a passive skill, so you should get that no matter what, just for having the uniform equipped. So it should not be on a 3-second cooldown. But anyway, let's go ahead and hop back over to the uniform here and actually see what it looks like in this skill preview. So that's just kind of my short rant on the uniform bonus there, on what's going on with the wording of the text. But anyway, the uniform itself, that's the important part for the skill changes. So here we go. Let's just hop in real fast, and I'll show you by turning on the AI. Let's go ahead and hit them. Okay, there we go. As you can see, this 1 second is just proccing all the time. And if we can actually get it, well, it's super armor and all defense. You can kind of see it as it's flashing by there. But anyway, yeah, super armor and the all defense for 1 second, and it seems to be proccing every single time we're hit. It doesn't seem to be on a 3-second cooldown. Like I said, I'm not sure if that's a bug or if they shortened it for the skill preview here so you can see it a little easier. But either way, he is going to need immune to guard break, because I still have seen him with the uniform getting guard broke really easily, so that super armor doesn't seem to be doing much of anything. So yeah, you're going to want guard break, immune to guard break if you get this uniform. So now let's go ahead and look at these skill changes. So we have the first skill. So he busts out some of his kind of plasma blades there, and that does apply a bleed effect, but there's no iframe on it, so it's not going to be a safe attack for like world boss or unstunnable enemies. But it looks like it'll be a pretty nice attack for like Shadowlands or PvP, because it has some nice kind of grouping effect with it, and it seems like it'll probably apply a guard break, because you do get some pretty quick slashes there. Alright, and then next we'll move on to the second skill. So he throws kind of like giant plasma discs here with this one, which is pretty cool, but again, no iframe, so just want to make sure you use it when you're out of harm's way. But it's a really nice skill, and you get some persistent damage there, so it's pretty cool. I like that skill. And now for his third skill, he has an iframe on this one, which is really nice, and he has a whole mess of just basically like homing missiles that he shoots out. And then as you can see here, he does have summons, so he has 3 little robots that hang around, and I believe they pull aggro. Let's go ahead and test that out here. Okay, maybe they don't pull aggro. They're not shooting at them. And oh yes, you can direct his third skill while he's in the iframe. Okay, no, the clones or the summons don't actually pull aggro, so they're just going to be doing damage. That's pretty much it. But that's pretty cool though that you can kind of direct this iframe around with your joystick there. Alright, so now let's move on to the fourth skill. So his fourth skill, he kind of just like transforms into this big, I don't know, robot battering ram or something. Either way, I don't know how I feel about this skill. When you just let it go on its own, it seems to target for you, but you can move this skill around again with the joystick, so you can kind of fly your way around the map. Pretty much, I think this is just kind of like a get out of trouble skill if you want to get some distance between you and the enemy, because it's really hard to kind of keep it on a single enemy. So I don't really see it having too great of damage because of that. I think you're going to lose a lot of the damage because you're just going to fly right past the enemy, because as you can see, he flies like right through the enemies. He doesn't really push them with him, so it's not like once you run into the enemy, they're going to get stuck on like the front of that point there, and you're just going to keep damaging them. You just go right through them, so I don't know how I feel about that skill. I'm not too impressed by it. But anyway, now we'll move on to the fifth skill. He pretty much just summons all of his weaponry out right there and get some big blasts going on here, which is really nice. So this skill has some nice damage on it. And it does give you a 3-second damage immunity, which is really nice because he did lose a lot of iframes with this uniform compared to his Civil War uniform. So he definitely needs that survivability. So pretty much this uniform right here, he's going to get a massive damage boost. So because all of these skills have a lot more AoE, there's a lot more hits on him, so he's definitely got the damage on this uniform, but he doesn't quite have the survivability as his previous uniform, because he's losing 2 iframes, and he's also losing a guard that he had from the other uniform, but he does get the 3 seconds of damage immunity on his 5th skill from this uniform that he did not with his other uniform. So overall, I think this is going to be more of a glass cannon uniform. I know he does have the uniform bonus for that 50% HP shield, but a lot of characters have pierce, so they'll be able to pierce right through that shield. Of course, that shield's going to be nice for something like Shadowlands, because 50% of your HP as a shield is really nice, and it does refresh. Because we do have Quasar that kind of has that as one of her passives, and when she gets that 50% HP shield there, it pretty much negates the next couple of attacks while it's activated, so it is useful, don't get me wrong there, and it will help his survivability. But overall, I think this uniform is going to have a little less survivability, but it's going to have a huge damage boost. So I do still like this uniform. I think it's really nice. I do like the skill animations for the most part, except for this 4th skill. I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of this one. But besides that, all the other skills look really cool. And I definitely think it is his best uniform out of all of his uniforms, which he definitely has a lot of them. But anyway, that's just going to be my thoughts on this uniform here. I'm personally going to wait on picking this up because I want to save my crystals for other uniforms and also for the next half of the updates. But if you like Iron Man and have him at tier 2, I definitely think this uniform is worth it. If you already have the Civil War uniform, I would say you could probably pass on this one and actually buy another uniform instead of spending the crystals on this one, because there are so many to choose from. But if you already have the other uniforms or you're not as interested in them, then definitely this uniform is still worth, I think, the crystal price tag. Like I said, I'm just not overall sold by the survivability, but it seems like the theme of this update for the uniforms is all damage, so pretty much all of the uniforms are getting big DPS boosts to the characters. So let me know your thoughts on this uniform as well, and if you have a better understanding of the uniform bonus, what's on that 3 seconds, 3-second cooldown, if it really is just a bug right here in the AI showing that proccing every time I get hit. Yeah, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and of course I will catch you in the next one.